Okay, to finish off that video, how to protect yourself against the misuse of NLP anchoring. Now I'll discuss, well, I'll just finish off the video. So basically, I remembered what, sorry, my phone cut out because the battery got overheated due to the fact that someone around me has been anchored to open the door whenever they see me recording, and basically we're under a microwave attack. So microwaves are different from infrared and radio wave radiation, because microwaves, when you close the doors and windows, the inside of the house remains warm even though outside is hot. Yeah, but with infrared and radio waves, it penetrates through the walls because the walls radiate when they're heated from the outside. Heat transfer coefficients, I won't go into that, but the heat transfer coefficient works different for microwaves, I suppose. Yeah, and if you go on the other end of the scale, X-rays and gamma rays, they don't really penetrate through walls. They'll damage them and melt them, but they won't really radiate through the walls. So this idiot keeps opening the door and increases the heat in the house. He's closed it now, and that causes all the electronic devices we have in here to overheat and stop functioning. And that's what happened to my mobile phone. So I don't know how long I've got, but there's still a fair amount of microwaves in here. But anyway, back to what I was telling you about NLP anchoring. So we have attention, intention, and impulse. Attention grabbers, that's the gesturing that you see in street theater, and this also triggers off an impulse, an impulsive thought, a thought to carry out an impulsive act, and an intention to carry out an impulsive act. Yeah, so basically this NLP anchoring, yeah, you know, goes deep into that trivector, if you like. Yeah, so when you are being anchored and you notice that you're always saying something out of turn, being socially awkward, you stop for a minute and then try to see if there's any people who are always trying to grab your attention. People who are always giving funny signals and funny hand signs and gestures. Yeah, because they're anchoring you with these gestures. Yeah, like I was finishing off, when you desensitize yourself to what you react to impulsively, yeah, this helps protect you against that NLP anchoring. So obviously everybody knows the type of woman I prefer, my likes and dislikes, the type of gestures that the women I prefer do, that will cause me to impulsively approach them. And women who are in on it, on this these traps that they set, will actually mimic what I like, and then report me for harassment. But I've never been reported for harassment yet because I've desensitized myself to what causes me to act impulsively. Yeah, and this is why the religious method works for me. Basically, it teaches you restraint and it teaches you to resist temptation. Temptation is what leads to impulsive behavior. Temptation is something that you must indulge in as a way of desensitizing yourself to impulsive behavior. Yeah, not to desensitize yourself against what you want, because we get tempted by women, but that's okay. But to impulsively harass them is not okay. So porn is very helpful for that. Yeah, so basically through my videos I have been protecting myself and you guys against this NLP anchoring before I actually noticed what it was. So my advice after reading about NLP anchoring is not gonna change. It's still the same. Yeah, you have to watch yourself. We're being targeted, yeah, to actually behave in a funny way, and the people who are doing that are the ones who are reporting us for doing it. Yeah, most of us who are targeted do not know about NLP anchoring. Yeah, but any gesture that's done to you, if you see any gesture, yeah, try to catch your impulsive thought. Yeah, if you see someone making a hand signal, then you feel like standing up. Note that down, a mental note. Keep a mental note of that. Yeah, knowledge is power. By knowing it, you stop it from working. That's how the mind works. If you notice it, it will stop working on you. Yeah, but you have to practice on it. You have to practice it. Yeah. So now notice whenever people stand up, I raise my chatter, the chatter I have to myself, the matterings that I actually indulge in, or the conversations I have with myself. I increase the volume of that. So now I know I have to practice it. That every time I see that anchor, I don't react to it. Yeah, and the conversation will switch to me just telling myself not to react to it. Yeah, so it's a shame that some people have to resort to that to discredit you, to tarnish your name. Yeah, and in fact, this is classic witchcraft, and these are the classic sorcery methods that have been done for thousands of years. Yeah, and try to advise others around you that this is happening as well. Yeah, and that's a form of protection as well. As long as people see that, someone can see that you're being anchored, and when they tell you, don't act like they're cuckoo or quacks. Yeah, don't act like that. Yeah, just know that this does happen. Yeah, somebody can tell you that, look, I've seen a man out there. Yeah, he keeps gesturing to you, and is controlling you, basically. Is remotely controlling you. Yeah. So just basically, let me see how long. I've done 7 minutes. It's kind of heating up, so it should die out in a minute now. The microwaves have increased. So so just be safe out there, and just remember NLP anchoring. If you haven't heard about it, Google it. Yeah, or go on YouTube and see what it actually looks like, and try to see if you've ever noticed this happening to you. Yeah. It's organized gang stalking is part of that, and it's in the street theater. This is why I regress and I like to be alone. At least to know, if I spent most of my time alone, I wouldn't have done anything, yeah, to cause any social injustice or something like that, yeah, or any crime. I wouldn't have been controlled to do any of that, yeah. And when I do have a woman, I make sure that she's not someone who likes her business being known, someone who likes all her friends to be around. They can anchor her to make sure that she's always got them around. Yeah. I like to have someone who understands these things, so that when we do form a relationship, we're on the same page. When I notice it being done to you, you don't look at me like I'm crazy. When you notice it being done to me, I don't look at you like you're crazy. Yeah, that's the only way this can work. So anyway, let me wrap it up. I've got 8 minutes and a bit out of this. I hope this helps.